Kurt's Bearded Series.
What are we going to warm up on today? I think I got it. I don't know how that's going to come out, but again, it is my warm-up. I got another half an hour I got to do to really get warmed up. In fact, just to show you that I'm not really warmed up. See, you can tell that that's, you know my high notes are better than that. Not really warmed up for anything. So anyway, we're going to talk about taking a break, taking a rest, taking a day off. I get asked that question a lot. I went through all my videos. I don't think I found anything suggesting how much to take off. Now I do have a recent video, it's called a 3-to-1 ratio, where if you miss a certain amount of days, it takes you about 3 times as long to get that back, up to a point. I mean, after you've missed, let's say, after you've missed a couple of months, if you haven't touched the horn for a couple of months for whatever reason, it's still going to take you, you know, a good 4, 5, 6 months to kind of get it back. And then it goes longer than that, depending on how long. But basically, for about a month and under, you can use that rule of 3-to-1. If you take off a week, expect to take about 3 weeks to get back to where you were. But so that leads into this question of this particular trumpet lesson topic. Actually, it's related to all brass players. How often should I take a break if I'm really practicing a lot? So let me give you one really good golden nugget to put in your pocket when it comes to this. If you're playing a status quo routine and performance and rehearsal schedule for yourself, status quo meaning it seems to be the same thing that you've done for the last month, for this last year. It's just about the same. Maybe you practice an hour and a half a day, maybe 2 hours a day. It doesn't, maybe half an hour a day. And then you go to your weekly community wind ensemble rehearsal or symphonic band rehearsal. Or you go to your weekly big band on Monday night or Thursday night and you're there for 2 hours and you play in church. In other words, you got a set routine that you've been doing for quite a long time. Taking off a day of rest is going to hurt you a lot more than if you had actively been doing more or trying to build. So that's why the people that are involved in my 16-week course, about midway through the course, I will mandate and prescribe that they take a day off. 1 day off. That means not warming up, no lip buzzing, no peat, no nothing. You leave the horn in your case, you don't do anything for that entire day. And I prescribe that about halfway through the course. For about every 10 days, they got to do that. Just to allow the face and everything to keep recuperating so they get those phenomenal results you've been hearing about from these people that have reviewed my course. Now for you, you're not involved in my course, but let's just say that you have been working on doing more than you normally do. Maybe you've added the Cat Anderson or the Claude Gordon, or you've added some routine where you're doing a lot more. You're trying to build. You're trying to get yourself up. Maybe you're trying to open up your sound by practicing 4th tier pedals. You're tripling up on that. You're spending half an hour on pedal tones. I don't know. Or maybe you decided to spend 30 minutes every day for the next 2 weeks on the Charles Colin Advanced Lip Trills because you really want to increase your flexibility and add a little range. That's when it's more okay and you're less likely to lose if you take a day off. So the day off to rest and recuperate depends on how active and how ambitious you are on this guy. So let's go back to what I said in the beginning. If you have been playing this or any other brass instrument and it's status quo, it's the same. If you look back, it's June 2018. If I were to look back in April and say, okay, I'm doing the same thing. If I were to look back like last Christmas of 2017 and say, yeah, same ensemble, pretty much same practice routine, I haven't changed it up, then be careful. Because your face, everything is so used to it that when you take that 1 day off, you're going to be right into my 3-to-1 ratio. it's actually going to take, it's not going to do you good, it's going to do you harm. It's going to take you about 3 days to get back to where you were. So be careful about that. Now, if you're actively pursuing improving the physical part of your playing, the range, the endurance, maybe even doing a heck of a lot of arbons, all the physical articulation and tonguing and stuff like that, then yes, you can take a day off, and it wouldn't be bad to take a day off. Let me just throw something out for you. I'd say if you're working really hard, after 2 weeks of really extra hard work that you're not used to, go ahead and take a full day off. And then get back on the horn the next day at half. So 50% of what you were doing. The day after that, go 75, and then the third day after your day off, be at 100% again. Then you're going to be okay, and you might notice a marked improvement in what you're after. So if you're actively doing more than what you normally have been, take that day off every 2 weeks to every 3 weeks, and you'll notice a big difference in your recuperation. That said, don't do that on a regular basis. I mean, this is why you're really putting the pedal to the metal, I guess is a good phrase to say. You really are going on all cylinders, and let's just say you're going to do that for a month. You're actively going a lot harder and a lot longer. You can take that day off once every 2 weeks, just for a month or so, maybe up to 2 months. After that, you're probably going to have adapted to that new weight that you put on yourself. The same goes true for you pro players out there. If you're playing, I don't know, fourth part in a symphony, there's a lot of low stuff, but you also have to play the jazz book in a big band, and you just got a call to sub lead in yet another band. This is a situation where you've added a lot of playing, and after 2 weeks of this, you must take at least a day off. You got to let things heal and recuperate to get used to what you just added, that heavy load you just added. So anyway, this has been just a very quick video, a little primer to help hold your hand a little bit on how often to take off on this horn or any other brass instrument. Go back and re-watch this. I said a lot in a very short amount of time, so you're going to want to go back and re-watch it. I'll summarize it one more time in about 10 seconds. If your plan has been the same for the last 6 months or a year, I highly encourage you to not take any time off, not even a day. You're going to be worse off for it. It's going to take you 3 or 4 days to get back to where you were. If you are ambitious and you've added a lot recently to your playing, or you're a pro, you've got another group that you got to play in, and you have added a heavy weight to your playing, practicing, or performance, then yes, take off a day every 2 weeks for a month or so, and I think you'll be glad that you did. Kurt Thompson, you've been watching my... Do I need to say it? You've been watching my Bearded series.
Kurt's Bearded series.
Summer of 2018. I will catch you in the next video.
Please go over to Patreon, become a supporter, support my channel and my work and what I'm doing. I really need your help. Thank you so much. This is Kurt Thompson.